We still have puppies left if anybody wants some. Reach out to us. Get ready to guard your home. Or guard your livestock. Isn't that right? Yeah. Yeah. Go eat. Gimme. Good morning, everyone. You hungry? Ready to eat a little? Yeah. Come on, you bro. Be cool this morning. Yo. Danny. What's up, wild man Benny? Always so excited in the mornings. So excited for feeding time, aren't you? Yeah, let's go. Show me where. Where are we going? There you go. There you go. All right. The headbands, I'll use them, but this was a last minute decision. Okay, so now back in the camper. Say hi, Ray Ray.
Hi.
Good morning. Well, it's still sneezing. And Jen is up at the house getting homeschool ready. We still homeschool up in there just so they have more room to spread out, and we still do have it, so we're doing that. But I wanted to show you that Berkey. I don't know if y'all know how it works. You have the top chamber and the bottom chamber. The top one has the charcoal filters that are in it, so that water goes through the charcoal filters and then drains down here to when you have nice, clean water. All right, so it is homeschool starting and slash for one, the other one's still getting cleaned up. But yeah, we have been doing that in the house, like I told you all. So we kind of do breakfast in here, we do a little homeschool in here, and then once we get done with homeschool, we move back out and down to the camper. But right now, I'm making Jen some tea, or she started it.
I started it.
She started it. And
I started the tea.
And I'm gonna finish it. Okay, getting through homeschool. Man, while it's on long division and math is my subject, whew, that takes forever. But we got through it, and he's got it down now. He gets it down. It's one of those things that you need refreshers. I got to refresh myself too. It's crazy, but once you get going, then you're good to go. Anyways, right now it's beautiful, but this weekend we got some rain coming in. So one thing about doing some camp life like this, you're gonna have all this stuff just sitting out here. We've had a nice dry streak, but I'm just gonna get this bad boy prepped and ready because we won't be living outside starting tomorrow morning because it's gonna be rainy. So let's get all this cleaned up. So this is what we look at right now. We got like our little TV, got a fan, got our grills and stuff, and just some other things that are sitting around that can't be outside when it rains. So I'm gonna clean all this out. There we go. We're ready for the rain. Probably won't rain now, more than likely. Okay, so it's been a couple days since that last clip where I was cleaning up around the camper and getting it all ready for the storms. Well, they really hit.
Yeah.
We had quite the storms. We actually went out of town just for one night to have a little date night while the kids were at the grandma's house. And it kind of tore down my canopy. So just
Yeah.
bringing it down didn't get the job done.
Broke our pull bar too.
Yeah, sure did break the pull bar. It was a wild one. We were in the same line as the storm, and we saw it just a couple minutes after where we were, and it was pretty intense.
A lot of heavy rain.
Yeah. So it is now the new week. It's Monday evening when we're shooting this, and we have decided to just move it back into the house. We stayed for 1 week and 2 days?
Yeah,
3
it was
days?
a little over a week.
Yeah, a little over a week, almost a week and a half. And we learned a whole lot on top of having a really good time. We had a lot of fun with the kids. It was kind of a staycation in between and when
It felt like a vacation.
It did. It really did. From when they ended their homeschool season, I guess, year, and then the start of the new one, which we are now actively in. But like we said, it was kind of a vacation. It was also to kind of learn a little, see what we don't need, what we do absolutely need. Mm-hmm. And I think we learned a lot of that.
And we'll definitely do it again, maybe 1 week a month or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple things on my list, and then you can add if there's anything that you have to add to that. One, comfort. Mm-hmm. So, like, when the evening comes and you're wanting to just relax and sit down, camping chairs suck. Mm-hmm. If we were doing this more permanently, we would definitely build, like, an outside living area, get some kind of outside couch seating area. Mm-hmm. Because one thing with having an 11 and almost 9-year-old, when it comes to eating, everybody needs a little privacy. Mm-hmm. So everybody wants a little break because we're all together all day, and so it's nice to have a little separation. So we were kind of creating outside as like our private area, and the camper was for the kids so they could play games or do whatever they wanted to do in there. So that kind of sucked.
And we sit outside at night anyway, but we usually sit on our porch where we have rocking chairs, and those are more comfortable than camping chairs.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a minimal thing, but like hips are sore after a while, sitting in those daggone camping chairs. So we'll definitely get something more comfortable and a little bit more permanent so we can relax and be able to actually gain our energy back.
Yeah. A major pro for me was the cleaning. And I know you're probably thinking that sounds crazy, but our house is 1,400 square foot, I think.
That's including the basement that's unfinished.
Okay, so probably 1,200, I don't know, something around there. But we have a whole downstairs, and then we have a whole upstairs, and there's 2 bathrooms. And it's not a big house, but when you clean as much as we do, and because we have animals and we have kids and stuff like that, it's a lot to clean. I mean, it takes like the majority of your morning to vacuum and mop and clean the bathrooms and stuff like that, because those are things we do every day. I know that's crazy, but that's just who we are.
Well, and it's more in the summertime too. In the winter, it's not as much, but like she said, dog hair, there's sand from the pool, fleas that things bring in. You got to stay on top of that crap and keep the gnats and flies and all that stuff away.
We just can't really start our day until our house is clean. Yeah. So having to do that in the camper took like 10 minutes of my time and was so easy. I mean, I swept and mopped every morning, literally 10 minutes. I only had to do the dishes like every other day. And then when I did, it was so quick. I mean, I have a dishwasher up here, but that takes longer than hand washing dishes down in the camper. So that was super nice. And then coming back up here and having to clean it, all this house is like, oh my gosh, I kind of miss the camper.
Let me go back to the camper. To me, so I'm always, like she's seeing the pros, and I had a lot of pros too, and I could talk to you all day about it, but I'm thinking of like specific things, like if this was a permanent situation, like what do we absolutely need? So water and ice. That is, I kind of hinted on one of the shorts that we had. That's like 2 big things in a camper. They cost you a lot of money. Water bottles and then buying bags of ice over and over again. Keep the coolers cool and stuff like that. Well, one, we have a pretty good sized fridge in that camper that holds a lot. Now, it's definitely not a full size fridge, but it holds a lot of food in there. So that kind of helped out. We didn't use any coolers. And then when it came to ice, we actually used our ice maker. So we brought it down there and just put it on the picnic table outside, and that produced enough ice for us. So I think if we had to do that instead of buying bag ice, maybe get another ice maker, have 2 of them running, and that would replace the ice. And then for the water, we brought down our Berkey, which is our water filtration system, so that way we weren't having to buy water bottles. So to me, that was a huge plus, not having to spend that money that you would normally do in a camper.
And for some people, that might not be a problem, but we are an ice water family. All 4 of us, all day long, drink ice water. We don't do Cokes or Pops or teas or, I mean, I drink my hot tea, but we don't do like sweet teas or unsweet. We don't do any of that. It's just ice water. So having enough for 4 having enough for 4 people is a lot. So the ice maker and the Berkey was an absolute must for us.
Yeah. And this one's going to be a little like obvious, I guess, but just hear me out. So when we lived at our previous place, a lot of the stuff that we lived at our previous place, like, is why it benefited when we was in the camper, because it was a lot of like having to go back to that. You know, those kind of same thoughts. And one thing I always loved about our old place is we always sat under the stars. Now our back porch was not covered, but our front porch was. So if it did rain, we could always move to the front porch. But like she said, we're very big on sitting outside in the evenings, especially with nice weather. We do it every single night. Since we've been here, both porches are covered and they're well off the ground. So like there's...
And they're concrete.
Yeah, and they're concrete and they're kind of tight. There's been a few things that I was like making a guess on, and I think it was proven when we went to the camper. When we sit on that porch, one, we never see the stars, right? And I didn't realize how much I missed that.
And it's a blessing having 2 covered porches.
Oh, yeah.
But you also miss the stars.
Right. After a while, you kind of just, like, you look up and you're just staring at the ceiling. And I know that sounds weird, but just keep hearing me out. The second piece being so far off the ground, it felt like we never left the porch. You know what I mean? We never went out because that seemed so far away that it just didn't go. Sitting around the campfire, you know, and sitting outside, you're looking at the stars, you're moving around more, you're getting up and doing things because you have room to spread out. And basically your porch is everywhere. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds...
Porch is your yard.
Yeah, that sounds silly until you flip it. And I don't know why, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed us being there. Didn't have that claustrophobic feel of all of us on top of each other. And secondly, and most importantly, especially in the summer, it was a lot cooler.
Yes.
So it was a lot cooler sitting in the grass instead on this concrete porch, that every time like we would have to come up here to get something, I could feel it like 3 or 4 degrees hotter when we would get on the porch, and that was wild too. So kind of silly, but it was just something that I really enjoyed, being able to be outside.
Yeah. I guess the last piece is, if we absolutely had to, we could homeschool in the camper. However, we came up here to do it, and it was just more convenient. And like, our table in the camper doesn't have any plugs underneath of it, so their laptop cords would have to be strung across the camper, and then nobody can walk through the camper. You have to either jump over or do the limbo.
Or I'd have to get an extension cord that was running.
And then you've just got wires everywhere. So it could be figured out, and it could be done, obviously, because a lot of people do it. And I think we would have a lot of fun if we figured out a way to do it without cords strung everywhere. But it was easier to just come up to the house, do the homeschool, and then go back to the camper, because all their stuff's up here, all their books are up here, their pencils, all their school supplies. That's a lot of stuff, especially as they get older. They have more and more curriculum, and it was kind of just difficult.
Yeah, it's giving enough room for a laptop, because we had ideas. We're like, well, we could get TV trays, you know, like that you sit on. If you're sitting on the couch, you can sit on. I was like, well, that's good, but they're really going to need like 2 each, so like 4 total, 1 for the laptop, 1 for them to work on, and then now we've got all these TV trays scattered everywhere. But like she said, we would definitely figure it out, but it just, because we weren't permanent, we decided to come up here because it was just better, and also not have to move everything down to the camper. And lastly, I know people were kind of in and out, and when they jumped in on like that week and a half of her shooting all those videos, speaking of that, still going to be going on. She's still going to be doing that. It's just reverting back to kind of this kind of life instead of the camper life. But I know like people didn't catch at the beginning why we were doing it, this and that. So hopefully this video kind of helps there. It was definitely primarily just the vacation. And the reason that we hint on like if it was to be permanent is because, like we've talked in previous videos, there is a lawsuit that's going on. No, we can't talk about it right now because it is not finalized, and anything that can be said could be a problem when it comes to court and law. But all that will come out. We're definitely just seeing every scenario that could ever work out, possibly at all, trying to prep for those, because that's what we like to do. So that's it. It's nothing like in the next month something's going to happen, because it's been 4 years now and I don't see that happening. But we're just trying to get ourselves ready for literally whatever happens. And when it's over, we promise we'll let you know what's up. Yes. And then half the people will miss that video, and then they're like, what happened? No, but anyways, thank you all for going along our little camper life. That was a lot of fun. Back to reality, getting homeschool going, and starting to get ready for this fall weather that's coming in.
But we'll do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, or on Facebook, hit the follow button.
Yes, we love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.